As we close out Heart Month this morning, we're focusing on cardiac emergencies. The reality is, when someone collapses, the first responder isn't always a firefighter or a paramedic. More often, it's actually a bystander, someone that's just like you or even like me. So we have a power to save someone's life. All we have to do is lean into that. Craig with the Fort Worth Fire Department and Jenny with the American Heart Association join me to share why learning CPR is now simpler than ever and why every second counts. Good morning to you guys.
Good morning.
So glad to have you guys here. So Jenny, I'm coming to you first. Why is the American Heart Association launching this message? You are the first responder until help arrives. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it means exactly what you said. If you are in the presence of someone who has a cardiac arrest, we want you to know that you are their first responder until the first responders arrive. You are helping them stay alive and keeping you're their external heart, keeping it beating until the emergency services gets there.
Yes. Okay. So Craig, then from the Fort Worth Fire Department's perspective, what do you want people to know about their role in an emergency? How do you want us to show up?
Yeah, so that role is crucial. Every year there's about 350,000 cardiac arrests here in this country. About 70% of those are there at home, which means your grandparents, your moms, your dads, your loved ones, your family, your friends. So I talk to my kids all the time about mindset. Have a plan and take action. So we're talking about the plan today, and we're expecting you to take action for those victims when the time arises.
Yes, but you're so right in what you said. It can happen at home, it can happen at the grocery store, it can happen at the gym, at a child's soccer game. I mean, literally everywhere. And so tell me, because those first moments are the most critical. And so if we are in that situation, what do we do so we can take advantage of those seconds?
Sure, so we talk about the 3 C's. Check where you're at. Make sure you're safe. Check on the person that has went down. Call 911 immediately, and then compressions. Push hard and push fast.
Push hard and push fast. Okay, now some bystanders, they hesitate because they're afraid of doing something wrong. And so what would you say to someone that feels unsure, or they're scared, or they just don't want to hurt the person in the first place?
So believe it or not, children as young as 9 years old can successfully perform CPR. And so if a 9-year-old can do it, so can we, right? We want you to feel confident in those 2 steps of hands-only CPR, and just know you're their lifesaver. You are working to pump that blood, and if you're not doing it, nobody else is, right? And anything, absolutely anything, is better than doing nothing.
And I think that's a good way to think about it, right? Because a lot of the times when we're in this situation, we're like, oh, somebody's going to do it. Somebody's going to raise their hand, right? And usually it's you. You have to raise your hand in order to do that. I'm glad you said that. So you also say imperfect CPR is okay as well. You don't have to do it just right. I even heard you say hands only now. It's not even using your mouth anymore, right?
Correct.
So how do we make sure that it is as close to perfect as we can get it?
Sure. Well, I've got the 2 steps for you. The first is to call 911. You've got to get 911 on the phone, make sure they know that something has happened, and then you're going to push hard and fast in the center of the chest. Those 2 steps. You do not have to do mouth to mouth anymore. That is oftentimes a barrier for anybody jumping in. So those 2 steps really, truly can save someone's life.
Yes. And let me ask, okay, because we see it right here. It's the interlocking of the fingers. And then usually you can pick a song of some sort as well, right?
You can.
Yeah.
You got a favorite?
Well, I think the biggest one that's known to people is Staying Alive.
Yes.
You don't want to get me singing, but that's one. We're looking for compressions at a rate of anywhere between about 100 and 120 per minute.
Okay, so we need to keep that in mind. How can viewers get trained or learn these life-saving techniques beforehand? I know you said it doesn't have to be perfect, but we can also train ourselves before the situation happens. How can we go about that?
Absolutely. So you can actually go to the American Heart Association's website at heart.org to watch a 1-30-second video that goes exactly over the steps you just saw on that video. But guess what? Every student in Texas also has to learn CPR before graduation, so go home and ask your kiddos.
There you go.
They might be able to share with you what they learned at school and help you practice, but go to our website. You can learn all the places that you can go to be fully trained, or you can get that hands-only education, which we think can truly, truly help in an emergency situation.
Yes, okay, but I also love what you said about ask your kids. They can teach you something new this morning. Thank you so much for being here this morning and spreading this important message. It's one that we all need to be aware of for sure. And again, if you'd like to learn hands-only CPR or find a local class, visit heart.org/nation.